I have the pleasure of introducing our next guest. I'd like to welcome Antwan Staley to Baseball Beer and BBQ. Antwan writes for Athlon Sports in the Palm Beach. He found on Twitter at Antwan Staley. We call him Twan. So, Twan, thanks for being on with us.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. So Twan, before we get into baseball, your thoughts on Tar Heels basketball season and the fact that they still have a loaded roster next year.
What was that? What was you asking again? Can you repeat that?
Oh, I said your thoughts on Tar Heels basketball season and the fact that they still have a loaded roster for next year.
Well, I guess it's disappointing the way it finished, but at the same time, Villanova, they got hot at the right time, and it was a great game. It was a great classic game. So, but North Carolina, they got Justin Jackson coming back in a few parts, but without I don't expect them to win the ACC next year. Duke, this was going to be the year if they're going to win the championship. Duke is coming; they're going to be loaded. They got a lot of great recruits. Harry Giles is one of their better recruits, and of course they got Grayson Allen coming back. So they'll be the favorites to win it all next year. So we'll see how far North Carolina can go. But if they were going to win it, this was the year to do it.
Gotcha. So we got to talk about Danny Thompson's favorite team and player, and also I believe one of Lee's favorite teams. How impressed are you by the fact that the Cavs they started off the postseason 10-0, or does that mean that the Eastern Conference just really sucks?
Yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, it's not Cleveland's fault. They're doing exactly what they have to do. They're winning games, and they're winning by double digits. So they're not going to be judged until the NBA Finals. We knew that coming in anyway. So, but it's not their fault that the rest of the conference is not very good, and they're so much head and shoulders above everybody else. They're playing as well as they had. They're playing better than what they were last year. They're a much better team, deeper team. They're also hitting three-pointers at a great rate, even better than Golden State, to be honest with you, if you can believe that. So we're going to judge them depending on how they play against Oklahoma City or Golden State, whoever they play in the finals, because obviously they're gonna wrap this thing up pretty quick. I expect the series to be over by Monday.
Yeah, and before we jump to baseball, I just want to say, Twan, too, that it's nice to see that Cleveland has come around and now they're playing like the team everyone thought they would be even a couple of years ago. So, however, we will move on to baseball. Rougned Odor gets 8 games for leveling Jose Bautista, although Bautista did not drop to the turf, so props to him. Is that enough games? And did Bautista have it coming?
8 is fine. I mean, 8 is probably what I expected, to be honest with you. I expected somewhere between peeling it, so we'll see if if it stays at 8, which they may knock it down 1 or 2. I thought Bautista probably should have spent a few more games too, because one, he deliberately tried to take out Odor with the slide, and I just felt like he could have got at least 2 or 3 games, to be honest with you. And did he have it coming? Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to come. We knew something was going to happen. You're not going to just do the backflip and not have any repercussions from it. People have to understand that. You're going to show off. You're going to showboat. That's baseball. It's going to happen. So I don't have necessarily a problem with it, especially the fact that Odor punched him, and I probably would have did the same thing if somebody would have tried to take me out illegally with that slide as well. So I'm not endorsing violence, but yeah, you had it coming when you tried to take out Odor.
I agree with you, and I'm glad, by the way, that you have not tried to take anybody out and punch their lights out, because then Palm Beach Post wouldn't have your services for 8 games.
Well, not in a while, no. I hadn't done that in a long time.
Just a quick follow-up, though, do you think, because Bautista he's kind of like, yeah, okay, I get it, but do you think his criticism is valid that they were cowards, that they waited until the last time they see him during the regular season? Shouldn't they have sent the message his first at-bat of their series?
Probably so, yeah. I would think. They've already played, like you said, they probably played there 2 times this year, so I'm surprised that they waited as long as what they did. But, yeah, I understand that beef and criticism as well. I know John Gibbons has said the same thing as well. So, yeah, I get it. I get it from that standpoint. But they ended up having to do what they had to do, and Matt Bush, the guy who has a story of his own, and he felt like he needed to take it upon his own hands and try to win over the clubhouse. So he went and did what he had to do, and I'm sure the Rangers players appreciate him doing that.
Yeah, it is an interesting story. This guy who's been in the minors for like 10,000 years, and he's the guy who.
Yeah, he was in jail, and he's been through a lot.
Yeah, he has. And hopefully for his story, he works out and stays. Moving on from the conflagration, which was the dust-up, which was personally I think is great for baseball. Another thing great for baseball, Chris Sale, he's 9-0, 1.58 ERA, one of only two pitchers in the MLB to win the first 9 starts with an ERA under 2. Sal Magley back in 1952, so it's been a while since that's happened. Okay, we got a lot of dominant pitchers right now. We got Sale, we got Arrieta, Kershaw. Is this just kind of the way baseball ebbs and flows, or is there more going on? Is there something changing about the game itself?
I don't know if it's anything as far as the game. I just think Chris Sale he's always been a good pitcher. He's just having a tremendous start, and the White Sox are really obviously benefiting from that. They're in first place, despite the fact they have lost 7 out of their last 10 and kind of come back down to earth for a little bit. But I just always thought he was a really great pitcher. I just thought a lot of people didn't really take notice of him because the White Sox, quite frankly, hadn't been very good in a long time. So I just think he's having one of those tremendous starts along with Arrieta. He's like the best 2 pitchers in the game right now are really in Chicago, at least right now this year. So I don't know if it's anything as far as baseball changing as opposed to just Chris Sale is just really that good.
So answer this question. Clay Buchholz of the Red Sox is simply the best Red Sox pitcher ever, or the best I'm just kidding. So seriously, beyond Buchholz, how have the Red Sox managed to be near first place at this point in the season when David Price is 6-1 with a +5 ERA?
Offense. I mean, it's that simple. They've been out hitting everybody. They've hit the long ball. Jackley Bradley Jr. is having just a tremendous start. Has a 25-game hitting streak right now. They're just out slugging everybody, and they're in second place to the Orioles right now. But that's what they're gonna have to do. Obviously, this pitching staff is very questionable. Even if David Price was pitching well, they still have a lot of questions on that staff, and I'm curious to see how long they can hit. They're going to have to sustain it if they want to at least compete for a wild card spot, because there's a lot of questions on that pitching staff. And, as much as I don't like, I'm a Red Sox fan, much as I don't like Clay Buchholz being in a starting rotation, they really don't have much of a choice right now, considering some of the young guys aren't necessarily ready for the rotation. So they're going to have to just score about 6 or 7 runs a game in order to be competitive in the AL East.
Yeah, it's funny. AL East is, the Blue Jays won it last year and they scored a ton of runs, and their pitching wasn't necessarily that good. They stayed in it all season, so it's a winnable formula in the AL East at this point.
Yeah, the only thing is Baltimore has better starting pitching, and they have their offenses. Well, they might not have been as hot as the Red Sox, but they have a great offense as well, and they like to hit a lot of home runs. So that's the only thing about that, because the Orioles, their starting pitching is very solid, and they have the offense to back it up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to react to the fact that you just said the Orioles have the better pitching staff of the Red Sox. It was shocking development. So
it's
John
true.
Carlos Stanton, yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, John Carlos Stanton's contract might make him untradeable, but Jose Fernandez might be a great pick up for a contender in July. What do you see the Marlins doing with him?
I think they're going to keep him from now. As long as they're winning games, I don't see them trading him for a number of different reasons. First of all, whenever he pitches, he gets so many people in the ballpark, and as most people know, South Florida has a lot of it's a big Latin community, and they love to see Jose pitch whenever he comes to the mound. So as long as they're winning, which they're doing a solid job right now, I don't see them trading him, and they don't have to. They still have his rights for a few more years. So I don't, unless it's like a very sweet deal one of the teams are offering. I don't see them trading him. Not this year. Maybe next year and a couple more years where they have to get rid of him because they know he's going to leave. But I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon.
Hey, Twan, what team has outperformed what you expected in the early season so far?
Hey, that's easy. You have to go with the Phillies.
Yeah,
the Phillies, nobody, I don't think anybody, and I don't know if they're going to keep it up, but nobody expected them to be where they are right now. Close to the like right there with the Nationals in the NL East, and their pitching they have good young pitching. They don't necessarily have the offense, but anytime you have good starting young pitching, that's going to keep you in games. Vince Vasquez has done the outstanding job, and I like the direction they're going in. I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep it up, but I think they're definitely not as bad as I thought they were going to be. They're not Braves bad, and that's really making that division very interesting. You got 4 teams that are really close to each other in that whole division, other than the Braves. So I think the Phillies could definitely make it interesting. But to answer your question, that'd be the team that I have to look at right now.
A pretty fun question here. Which baseball stadium would you most like to see that you haven't gone to yet?
I probably have to say I've been to a few of them. Off the top of my head, I probably have to say Seiko Field. I've never been to Seiko, so and it looks like a very unique and scenic ballpark. So that's probably
it's beautiful.
That's probably the first place that would come to mind.
As a Seahawk and a Mariners fan, I will say it's a beautiful stadium downtown Seattle. You should definitely go see it.
Yeah. Like I always wanted to get there. Like I've been to AT&T, I've been to PNC, I've been to Fenway, I've been to Wrigley. I've been to the new Yankee. I went to the old Yankee Stadium too. I've been to quite a few of them, but yeah, I just never got out that way to go to Seiko.
Gotcha. Twan, we want to thank you for being on. Tell us where you can be found everywhere.
Well, you can just find me on Twitter. That's probably the best place to link up to Antwan Staley, and you can just find all my work there.
Okay. Gotcha. Want to thanks again for being on with us. Hope to have you on very shortly.
All right, y'all take care.
All right. Thanks Twan.
Again.
On.
So, yeah, we had 2 guests on today, both excellent as we expected, and have been, the whole time we've ever had them on.
So you're saying this is the time when everyone can tune out because now it's just us.
Now it's the time to. Hey, one thing I will say, my favorite Seahawk is Michael Bennett. I like that he is a really good interview. He's also an extremely productive player, especially for an undrafted guy, and he uses his mind, he uses his skill, but he was able to not just take his raw talent and be like, I'm going to have a position to start because of my raw talent. Although I think he has a personal hatred for Sam Bradford. But I think he had some excellent points that we played early in the show. I'm going to replay right now. Just about what he thinks a lot of pros how they should be held accountable. And I think there's a lot of other pros who aren't saying the same thing, but a lot of people think it. And again, this is Michael Bennett's comment on Sam Bradford.